All right, what's going on today, you guys? So today I'm going to answer the question, are KRK Rokits good for DJing? This question pops up a lot on the internet and on forums, mainly because you do see a lot of KRK Rokits alongside, big EDM producers and small-time EDM producers, everyone from Martin Garrix, Diplo types, all the way down to kids in their dorm rooms. But what I will say is that most of these people that you see are using these as studio monitors, and studio monitors versus speakers for DJing are quite different in many ways. To kind of simply answer the question, these can be good for DJing, and I've definitely used them to do, smaller parties and smaller events and things like that, where I don't need to fill an entire warehouse full of people, but rather just a home or a small space. But I would say for major events and for serious DJing where you're planning on going out, I would not really recommend these. And there are a few reasons why. For starters, these are the KRK Rokit G4 8s. That means they're the Generation 4 KRK Rokits, and they have an 8-inch woofer right here. These are near-field studio monitors, and what that means is that they're going to sit a little closer to you, and they have a flatter frequency response, which makes them good for mixing and producing. They're not going to have that heavy sub-bass frequency that is ideal when it comes to DJing and when it comes to playing out live. I would say, if anything, you have a couple options. One, you could go bigger and get the KRK Rokit 10-3s. Those are midfield monitors. They have 10-inch woofers, which are a little bit bigger. They're going to have a heftier bass response, and they're better if you're planning on doing larger events. And your second option will be to get a sub. If you really truly, if you have these at home and you're thinking, okay, I want to use them for DJing, I don't really have other speakers, or I can afford other speakers, or I just would like to get the most out of these, then I would say definitely go and get yourself a sub. KRK Systems makes a sub, so I would highly recommend getting theirs and just hooking it up. It just might be a little bit more cohesive that way. Of course, you can get any sub and hook it up to your system, no matter what you're running off of. In all, of course, these aren't, like I said, they aren't ideal when it comes to serious DJing, and it's mostly just because the lack of hype in the speakers, and it's really just because this is not what they're meant for. They're more or less meant for mixing and producing, thanks to the flatter frequency response. But you can absolutely play music on these and do smaller parties and smaller gigs, and still get people moving, because they are just solid speakers and they sound great all around. So yeah, to answer your question, are KRK Rokits good for DJing? Depends. Depends on the size of the place. Depends on your music. Would I recommend them over other monitors and speakers on the market? Definitely not. I would get yourself a larger pair, or a pair with a sub, if you're serious about DJing. Yeah, if you have any insights into whether the KRK, or whether you think the KRK Rokits are good for DJing or not, or any questions about them, feel free to leave it in the comments. Alrighty, take it easy.